users are going to see is they're going to see just a starting soon page with some background music. And what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to put your head up here, bring you down. Okay, I can't. All right, and then me. All right, just want to make sure we're all sized. Okay, so I'm sized okay. I want to make sure you're sized okay.
Does it matter the size of?
No, it's just that this is something I got to do. So right now I'm just sizing you guys up on the screen. Almost there.
What's the finest later?
Almost there. Yeah, there you go. And now we are almost ready. Hold on. We are almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. Almost ready. Okay, perfect. There we go. And then put you up there. And okay. Now, so basically what's going on, I'll just give you a quick overview. We'll, as soon as we go live, we'll go for an hour. We'll go for an hour. I'm going to start off by just putting an introduction to the channel and introduction to you guys. And then that'll take about a minute. And then right after that, I'll bring you on. Bring you right on.
Okay.
So we're going to get started. Just want to make sure that, okay, hold on, my screen's moving. Just want to make sure that we're good to go. And just want to size you up perfectly. And we are good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start the commercial. I'm going to start the commercial and I'm going to bring you guys on. Okay. So here we go. And then Dana, I don't see you in there, but you could, I don't know, somehow if you could get into the screen.
She's right here with me.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, shoot.
We can see ourselves in the screen, right?
Do you?
Oh, I see. The thing is,
the
thing is on my screen, on my screen, I could only see you. I've only focused on you. So what I'm going to do is, hold on, I know what to do. I'm going to size both of you in the screen. Hold on.
I'm gonna get the iPad now, just to make sure.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I'm gonna size both of you so you're in my screen.
Chris, do you want to call me back on the iPad? Will that help? It just showed up.
Huh?
Or do you want to call me back on the iPad? Will that help? It just got delivered, or is that gonna take way too long?
Can you lock? Well, I don't want to drop the call, because if I drop the call, that's going to ruin the stream. So let me just keep the call on, and I'm going to size you guys on here. Hold on 1 second. I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen. I'm just going to size both of you on the screen here. Just to be okay. I'm getting you there. 1 second. And
I probably cannot resume the call on the iPad, right? Will that mess it up too?
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm almost there. I've almost got you guys in the screen. Almost got you guys in there. And
that's really honest.
Okay, so perfect. I'm just gonna get your shoulders and okay. My tech guy is sizing you. My tech guy is sizing you up right now. He's logging in from what's it? Hi, I'm Chris Hanson, founder of Karate Unity on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also find me at karateunity.ca. Welcome to my cross-training journey, exploring other combat sports and arts, helping me functionalize and understand my karate better. My global mission is to foster a tribal community where we can all train, learn, and share regardless of style, rank, organization, and gender. Welcome to the Karate Unity. Big shout out to Ken Knight of KENFUTV. Thanks for your technical help. Next up, we have the dynamic duo Dana Hernandez and fight legend Bas Rutten on martial arts life and unity. Dana is a California-based fitness, self-defense, and nutritional coach, changing and unifying the lives of others. Next up, fight legend, UFC Hall of Famer, King of Pancrase, Hollywood actor Bas Rutten. We'll discuss martial arts and his life journey. May I present to you Dana Hernandez and Bas Rutten. There we go. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. We are live here with Dana Hernandez and Bas Rutten. I am so excited. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming. How you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Doing fantastic.
Awesome. I'm good. Can you hear me okay? Is the sound fine?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. All right. So basically, welcome to my channel. What drew me to you guys was your positive energy level and how you unite martial artists and athletes from everywhere. I said to myself, I really must talk to you guys because, as you know, Dana, we've been talking, a little bit back and forth, getting to know each other really well. My whole mission is to unite, and we are like, this is a cliche. Don't mean to sound cliche, but we are strong in numbers. So that's one of the main reasons why I brought you here. So here we are. Tell us about yourselves, guys. Where you're from, what do you do, how did you meet, and your professional relationship with each other.
You go first.
You go first. Ladies first. Come on.
Okay. I'm from California, born and raised in Southern California. My first career is a veterinarian. So I went up north, Northern California to undergrad and vet school. So did that for several years. When I took a trip to South Africa, I decided I wanted to know how to defend myself because they told us when we were in Johannesburg, it was not safe. So came back, did some Krav Maga. When I got the Krav Maga book, Bas was in the front of the Krav Maga book. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I realized I lived near his gym and I wanted to kind of switch things up and came to the gym, tried out. And I was like, whoa, this dude's like he's really cool. Like immediately introduced himself, was like, hey, I can tell you've trained. What have you trained in? And basically never looked back, never wanted to leave. It's such a home feeling. We call ourselves a gym family and we really do feel that way. And then eventually over time, started transitioning careers to a personal trainer. And then I asked Bas if I could create a women's self-defense class here from my prior Krav Maga training. And he
Very
said,
nice.
And then we've just been working together ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's a couple years now, or how many years is that?
Oh,
since you guys have been.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
8 years or so now.
Oh wow.
Something like that. Yeah.
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 Very nice.
Yeah, pretty well. We started this gym like this one here, I think 9 years or 8 years around that time also. We just opened it up.
Yes, I came here soon after you guys opened
Yeah.
it, maybe like a year or less after you guys, because you guys were always talking about the old location.
Yeah, that was like a 2,000 square feet thing, no showers, no nothing, and we outgrew it and we needed a big place. And now we got 15,000 square feet, so it's much better. We got saunas, 3 rooms. Well, if you consider
wow.
room as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
And
cool.
where's that located? Where's that located? In California?
Yeah, Westlake Village. Westlake Village. Some people say Westlake, but you gotta watch out because apparently there's a Westlake downtown in the ghetto. So they say you have a gym in Westlake, and I go, it's like a South Central. I go, no,
Yeah.
Westlake Village. It's the opposite actually because it's really nice out here.
It's really
We're
nice
very,
out here.
yeah,
We're
very
about
close.
how many miles from LA? Maybe like 30, 35 miles?
Yeah, 35 miles, but we're like 15 minutes away from the beach,
Mm-hmm.
so everything is very close by. Go to the mountains through some tunnels and boom, you're at the beach here. So yeah, it's very nice. And yeah, the day they came in, we started. I always use her in my classes as well to show my things on because she can think I can beat her up a little bit. She won't complain.
Yeah, I've been seeing you guys live lately. You guys been doing a lot of training, and that's another thing that attracted me Do you guys want to maybe talk about that? Like, what's your focus there on your live training?
Well, we do every time different, we kind of, she goes over the comments and she says, oh, this person has this, and there's more people who ask, for instance, about distance. And then we say, okay, let's spend some time on how we can control the distance in the fight. So we just listen to the people, and then we'll take it from there. Whatever they want the most or ask the most for, we just do it. Because we've been doing it all in our classes. Everything I'm teaching, she's been seeing. And the repetition. But when I tell people over the last 8 weeks, you heard me say this many, many times, you can only imagine how many times she heard me say the same crap over and over again. It's hundreds of times. Right? I just constantly repeat myself, but it's important. When it gets inside their heads.
Yeah. All right. So we've got a whole slew of questions here from various sources, from all our martial art associations and friends and mentors of mine, and also people I train with. So I'm going to fire off a little bit at a time, and I'm going to try to be equitable because to both of you. So we'll start off with one question that's kind of catered to both of you. So both of you are influential trainers and mentors to many people in the world of fitness, martial arts, self-defense, and nutrition. How does your work fulfill you and keep you driven?
Go first.
But the feedback from the people, that's what it's all about with us. If we see an enormous great reactions from people, oh man, I'm loving this, I'm training every day, and you realize there's a couple of hundred people around. Well, this is just in our streams. It's also on Fight TV, so the number is much higher because I have only like 500,000 followers, but Fight TV is 2.5 million followers. So they pumping it out as well. So, but to know that there's a big group of people doing it every day, and we can see the stream, the analytics, that it stays strong. They know when people come and when they leave, but there's one of the core group. And a lot of these guys, every day, they didn't miss a class. We have some friends and some people, and we realize that England, everywhere, Germany, and they didn't miss a class yet. So, for 8 weeks straight, and we're every day here. Also Q&A, and on Sundays, Dana's doing the recovery. So, that's a motivation.
Right on.
I think for this, like in what we're dealing with now, I think it's been very cool. The people that are coming all the time, I feel like they're my extended gym family. In general, like outside of this, this pandemic, my motivation is seeing people gain confidence and just feeling more comfortable in their own skin. So you walk around differently, and I experienced that firsthand. Before I knew how to defend myself or anything, I walked around very differently thinking back than how I walk around now. So, and that's something that I learned a lot, from Bas as well when I came to his studio, and it got more personal when I came here. So I love learning that. Yeah,
but she's also doing. We have like women challenges and men's challenges. It's like 6 weeks, I believe. People come in, they sign up for a certain amount of money, and the winner gets a year free membership.
Oh wow!
And
that's a good idea.
I've seen her transforming people that you don't believe. Like I send pictures out, and none of my friends believe it. They go, it's Photoshop. I said, well, you can look, because if there's 20 people, they all want to win. So trust me, they know who is ahead. So they're real pictures what we see. But once people realize, do this 6 weeks at a time. But she said also she guides them what they eat, what to do. I mean, the little woman you were training here, I haven't seen her for a while, and suddenly I was training a private class, and I'm looking, I go, whoa, wait a minute. Hey, and I stopped them. I said, that's you. I couldn't believe it. She lost such an amount of weight, and she looked so much better. And it was so cool to see, because once they realized, because that's why they do it, they started making a pirouette, look at me, now, so you're changing people's lives. She's changing people's lives. And I think that's just, that's one of the best things you have to can do in life.
Yeah, and Bas, you've made some huge impacts. But see, that's an example of why I talk about this as such a gym family. Like Bas, someone with his name literally stopped his workout to go, hey, you've lost a lot of weight, haven't you? And she was like, well, but that's how it is, because we love pushing each other and building each other up. You get so much more when you're building each other up. Like, it's massive.
Yeah, it was really hard at the beginning, but when the pandemic started, to say, and everybody, we're on group chats, and people go like, because it's such a bond right now that we have here. There's no rotten apples. We have nothing. We got rid of all these people over the years. And right now, it's like everybody, like it's a family. It literally is. People come in here. There's people here 5 times a day. It's insane.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Martial arts is brings people together, man. 100%. I have only one question for myself left, and the rest is all pretty much from all of my friends and instructors. So I want to get mine out of the way. So and then I'll just leave time for their questions. So here we go. So I noticed that from your accomplishments in health, fitness, and martial arts world, in the martial art worlds, in industries, that both of you guys are big on the idea of unity. Bringing people together from all walks of life and fitness, training, and even spirituality. I wanted both of your takes on my mission. So basically, I'll just tell you briefly, I started Karate Unity based on the premise to functionalize my karate and make sense of it. So like the static kata and the pre-sequence drills really didn't make sense to me functionally. So what I did was I decided to cross-train with boxers, wrestlers, grapplers, MMA dudes, and various other martial artists from all over the place. In the mix, I discovered so much value in uniting with others, sharing, learning, and teaching, right? So now I've mixed things up. I now train, teach, and travel internationally to promote this unity vision. And so here's my question to you. What's your take on what I'm doing? Am I crazy? And is this going to work? Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, it's 100% going to work because what you're doing, it's called evolution, you know. And if you look at all the karates, the katas, and the 3 steps, the forms that you're talking about, they've been made a couple of thousand years ago, and they never changed, you know. And because you pay homage to the person who created, and you do exactly the same as they do, but everything gets better. There's just techniques that from 2,000 years ago, they're updated now. There's better. So for you to start cross-training right away with other people, that's the smartest thing you can do. I mean, that's Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee, there was Jeet Kune Do. It was open. It was always changing, always evolving. Something else came. I remember this story with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, that he was telling everybody, Bruce Lee was saying that kicks to the head were not effective in martial arts. Well, it's nice for the martial arts, but in sparring it wouldn't be effective because it would be too long on its way to the head. It was too easy to see. You could block it too easy until he got kicked in the head a few times by Chuck Norris. And then he realized, oh, wait a minute. So you see, but he was really open about that. He said, well, he kicked me in the head. I realized that they are effective. Let's add it in there. You see, and I love people like that who are open. I had a coach like that. I was sparring with the coach, and I was a green belt or something. Suddenly I kicked him in the head. And of course, I'm embarrassed because, it's my coach. And I said, I'm sorry, man, I got lucky. And he said, did you aim for my head? I said, yes, I did. He said, well, then it was not luck. You did this for real. You see? And that's what I always try to do with my students as well. Just be open. And also, if you don't know something, tell them. Don't try to make up a comment or a story. Just say, no, I don't know. I'm sorry. It never happened yet, but I'm pretty sure it will happen, that I don't have the answer to a question. But give me a day, and then I will find it out. So what you're doing, cross-training, I think, is the best. It's what every martial artist should do.
And he would definitely know. That's definitely a question for his arena. But just in general, I think that when you're constantly are open to being a student and constantly open to learning, I was actually listening to a podcast this morning, and they were talking about how if you're trained in a profession, in lots of professions, in 10 years, what you know, a lot of that is going to be obsolete. So he said the number one skill is learning, being willing to learn and maybe unlearn some things, but there's always going to be more. There's always going to be someone either doing something more, perfecting on something. So I totally agree. In general, learning is everything.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to go on to some of our my coach's questions. But back to just a comment on what you're saying. So I really I'm so excited to actually know that both of you guys are doing the same kind of things. I'm basically seeking kind of confirmation from you guys that this is working, because just to backtrack a little bit, like you, Bas, what got me on this journey was I basically got beaten up by a boxer. So I have back in the day, this is about almost 20 years ago, there was this small little web space, and I put out some of my martial art information on there, and then this man joined, and he says, listen, I like what you're doing. I'd like to train with you. So we ended up training, friendly sparring match. I got beaten in a very short period of time. Yeah. And that opened my mind up to just aliveness and everything. So I'm so glad that I'm getting a chance to speak to you guys to confirm that, you know, mixing your training is so important.
Yeah, but normal, what normal people do, more normal people in your case, and it's very sad, they step away from that, you know, they get their ass to them, and then they realize, I don't want to train with that guy anymore. Me and you and people who are think smart, they go, I really want to train with that guy. I would love to have a sparring partner who can kick my butt. I mean, we were looking really hard. You know, in striking, it's just very hard to find guys. I got to find all these tricks, you know, get myself really tired first before I start sparring with people. So, but yeah, I would love people who can teach me something. I love sometimes jumping in on a class, like a really Krav Maga class, like when I teach again also with Tamir Perez. He's really good at Krav Maga, you know, and I'm just there. Once he's teaching, I just like to join, because for me it's fun to take instructions one time and not to give instructions, just to do what other people do. Plus I know 100% with him it's always correct. Yeah. So I'm not learning something bad. So that's a good thing as well.
Awesome. All right, thank you. So this is from one of my MMA coaches who actually, he was the guy that came into my house and beat me up. So this is a question that, so this is a question from him, and you know who you are. He wants to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to mention his name, but maybe one day I will. And I really want him to come online and do this kind of stuff with me too, but he has his reasons. But anyway, okay, so here we go. So as someone who trained originally in traditional arts and transitioned to the world of sports and mixed martial arts, how would you reconcile the two things, and what advice would you give people who are struggling with the contradictions between the two?
That's a good one.
Yeah, well, it's you always find out the hard way, right? I found out the hard way. I found out the hard way twice. My first Thai boxing class, I got dropped with a liver shot. That's actually where I got it from. You know, realizing, well, because karate, what I was doing, the form of karate, was no punches to the head. So my hands are here. And the Thai boxing, when they suddenly start hitting my head, what do? You overcommit, you go too fast up, exposing the body. And he, of course, I was training with an A-class fighter, which is a pro, and he dropped me right away. But, you know, taught me a lot. In one day I fixed it, actually. I told all those people I spent a lot of hours in front of a mirror not to drop my hands anymore. But then many years later, I was my first MMA class. And again, I was the badass. I kicked everybody's butt in training, Thai boxing, and karate, until I did that first MMA class. I got torn up. You know, I remember parking my car next to the road and calling my wife on one of those first cell phones we had from Philips. You know, that they were just from the big car battery things to the little spot that was still big. And I said, hey, listen, I'm in the car. I'm completely crushed. I mean, I couldn't eat. I had to drink liquid food for 3 days. And my throat was so crushed, because the throat crushes, I thought I could hold it, which I could. But, you know, a choke you can't. A blood choke you go. You know, but on your throat, I was just flexing, and I thought, oh, I'll handle this. You know, not realizing I completely crushed my throat. So, yeah. But taught me a big lesson. Now I want to go back, you know. And I remember my wife started laughing. She said, oh, this is the last time you've been there? I said, no. I said, within 6 months, I'm going to tap everybody there. And I did.
Nice.
You know, just make it. Just say, okay, this is not going to happen to me anymore. And I'm going to do everything in my power to beat them. And, you know, where's a will, there's a way. You know, just go.
Determination. Okay,
Mindset.
so the next one, mindset.
Mindset's huge.
growth mindset. Yeah, exactly. I'm a school teacher here in Toronto, and that's one of the biggest character traits I'm trying to teach is this whole grit and perseverance and just keep going no matter what. You know, and you know, martial arts, combat sports, you know, athletics. I think I'm very biased when I say this, but I think it's the best way, you know, to push these character development traits. I mean, I want to get my daughter, like she's 8 years old now. She likes dance and stuff, but I really want to get her into martial arts and, you know, especially on a team. Okay, next one. So as a Pancrase champion, UFC champion, looking at the current crop of professional MMA fighters, how has MMA evolved for the athletes since your time? And where do you see their training moving in the next 5 years? And then finally, how does this translate to the average person training martial arts? I know it's a little wordy, but...
Well, it changed a lot. You know, nowadays everybody knows pretty much all three arts, so to say: wrestling, striking, and ground fighting. in the time when I was competing, you know, you stood out. Like I stood out because I was a great striker and a great submission fighter. I was never a good wrestler, but it didn't matter. People would take me down. I would just submit them, reverse them, submit them, whatever I would do. I actually, that was a really cool Hall of Fame stat. It said I won 14 times by submission, yet I never took anybody down. So that meant they took me down and I just reversed them and took them in a submission. You see, you're evolving. And now everybody is having that. Still, people always like to do what they do best. But, you know, I taught myself very early on, which I actually said this morning as well, whenever you don't like it, it's part of your job. Whatever the job is, do that a lot. Because it's very important, the things that you don't like most of the time because you don't understand them. You know, once you start understanding them, then you start liking them. When you like it, you do it a lot. Then once you do it a lot, you get better. You know, this whole thing goes through. So that is a big difference. What was that question number 2 from that?
Okay. How does this translate to the average person training martial arts?
No, this is everything. You know, yesterday somebody called me. Oh no, it's not true. It was on my Facebook from yesterday's class, and they asked me, "Hey, I would like to start but also for street fighting. Also, there was 2.
Oh yeah.
What is the best art?" And I go, yeah, officially it's MMA. Right now, MMA became its own art. You know, you can go to a gym and they will teach you wrestling here, crowd fighting, and punching and kicking. So that would always be the best because you don't know who you're going to face. If you're really great, you're Mike Tyson, but he's facing a wrestler on the street. That's it. He's got a 1-punch chance, but as soon as the distance is close and the guy's got him, he's got him on his back. Now boxing is gone. And he's on top. That's going to be big. See, so it's always best to know everything since we don't know what we're going to face. Now, luckily for us, many people think they can strike. So striking is most of the time the first choice. But being a great wrestler and striking, wrestling always in there. Being a great ground fighter and striking, so you can always take the fight to the ground. And being a great striker and wrestler because you can keep the fight on the feet. You see? And if you get hit, you can always take him to the ground. But you make that decision. So at least you need to know 2 arts very well. It's striking and wrestling, or it's submission and wrestling. You got an
Exactly.
Oh no.
You okay?
Yeah, it just said low battery.
Oh, on your phone?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a cable for it?
I do in the car.
Well, run to the car. You want me to?
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We'll carry it on and then we'll
Yeah, okay.
I got some questions for you, but we can come back. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we'll just talk. You know, I'll keep going, and then you know because it will be a nightmare if the connection drops suddenly.
Yes.
Okay, so as a MMA coach, you made famous and entertaining. You made a famous and entertaining self-defense video a few years back. It was one of my favorite ones. You know, the ding, that one. And how has your self-defense training and teaching changed? And what areas are you focused on now when teaching self-defense to your students? Oh, here's my daughter, by the way. Say hi.
Hey, daughter.
Say hi.
How are you?
Say hi.
Hey there.
Sienna.
Oh, Sienna.
You want to say something? Sienna has something to say to you, first of all. You want to say something? Go say something quick. Something quick. Oh, okay. Anyway, she's being shy. Anyway, So
something.
hurry up. You want to say it?
Hey, Bas, I'm gonna wreck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wreck you.
She says she's gonna wreck you.
You'll be flying away.
I will be there in Toronto one day, and we'll
It's
fight.
a throwdown. It's a throwdown.
All right, good. I love
This is my wife, Jen.
Hey.
Hi.
Thanks for being an inspiration.
You're very
We
welcome.
both have eczema.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
she's come running in here. This lady set it all up.
I'm good. Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, just wanted to meet my family, but is Dana okay or?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay.
So
fine.
I think we're getting very close to having it.
Yeah,
done.
no
So
worries.
good.
Yeah, just tell us about your self-defense, that video, and like how has your teaching self-defense changed? Or do you want to wait for Dana first?
No. We'll see if we get more. Or we're looking for an extension cord. So what my self-defense? I don't teach too much self-defense. You know, I love to teach it. I'm doing striking, a lot of striking here. When I do self-defense, is together with Amir Perez. We do these seminars for LA, law enforcement, you know, military, you know, the highlight, the seals with all these guys, and that's been always very curious. And then I go in full in, but it's how do I say? It's a two-edged knife. It's a two-edged sword, whatever you want to call it. How do I say? Street fighting is very important to teach it the correct way, to make everything is perfect, because you don't want to give a person a false sense of security. You know, you don't want to have a friend who's getting attacked by somebody pulls a knife, and then him, because he's been training, so to say, in the self-defense system, when they taught how to remove a knife, but you know, maybe they taught the incorrect way. You know, and maybe he tells his friend, "Hey, don't worry, step back, I got it," and then he get killed. You see, it's a big pressure for a self-defense teacher. You know, there are self-defense teachers out there, and I think they should be held responsible for what they're teaching, because some of these things that they teach is completely wrong, and it can literally kill a person. You know, because they do something wrong. So for those guys, people ask me all the time, what is the best system? Well, I like Krav Maga worldwide, the organization, because they always update also.
Okay.
And you know, I've been there along the way. I know these people for 18, 19 years, and I saw the changes. They taught me a thing, and it suddenly happened in the field, and it didn't go out like they actually were teaching it, and they adapted it, and, you know, they updated evolution, you know, and I love that stuff. And I think there's people out there. I saw a video of this woman dismantling 3 people with weapons, with knives, and the way while she was talking, it was really easy the way she did it. And I go, you get killed that way. People have no clue. Like, they let the knife fall on the ground, and then the gun fall on the ground, and now for the gun or for whatever weapon is, that's going to be the focus. No, you need to control the weapon. You know, there's certain steps that you need to take. So as a self-defense instructor, I always say, make sure you 100% know, because if somebody's going to die on your watch, well, that's on you.
Yeah. I actually, since Dana, you came back, this question's for both of you guys. Can you hear me okay, Dana? Is everything okay? Is your power cord in now? Everything fine?
It's plugged in.
Awesome. Okay, good. Okay, so this is for both of you guys. Feel free to answer however you want, any way you want. So one of the biggest fears, in my opinion, for self-defense instructors out there is you know, teaching how to confront a bigger, aggressive, and stronger opponent. You know, if de-escalating tactics fail, and things went hands-on, what strategies would you recommend for a smaller built person? You know, like I'm not very big myself. I'm 5'6". You know, so yeah, if you guys can talk about that, just some strategies for a smaller frame person coming up against a big jacked up aggressor. Say.
Yeah, that's a common one that I get asked, and especially as a female, and I'm not a big person either. And definitely as I got more into martial arts, and I've heard, you know, the high ups in Krav Maga, definitely, just like with everything else in life, the first thing is mindset. So the first thing is deciding, and that's where I start from the ground up with women that are coming into self-defense. And I have male clients too that are coming for self-defense. The very first thing is mindset. Deciding that you will not be a victim. Deciding that if someone attacks you and tries to hurt you, or someone that you're with, or your child, that you will fight. You will save yourself or whoever you're with. That needs to get really ingrained.
How do you flip that switch? In your opinion, how do you flip that switch?
I recommend that when we're in class, and like, we're all friends here, this is a safe environment, nothing's going to happen to you, but I need you to practice flipping that switch. I need you, when they say hit the pad or kick the pad, I need you to go from 0 to 120, and make sure your partner, you know, can handle how hard you're going to go against the pad or whatever, but you're practicing it in a safe environment where you know you're not going to get hurt, with other people that you're comfortable with, and you're going to flip. And sometimes it takes time to bring that out of people, but I think eventually when they see, you know, what it looks like when you demonstrate flipping the switch, haha, we're laughing, we're fighting, you know, we're laughing, we're talking, and now going all out on the pad, then they feel more comfortable with it, hopefully. But the very first thing is mindset above anything else, because we've all seen the videos, and we know it's happened where women that have zero training are successful against their attacker.
Yep.
It's all
Yep.
here. They haven't trained
Yep.
anything, but they're like, oh no, this is not happening. So
Yeah,
I agree.
protecting yourself also the way a woman walks around, you know, you can walk around as a victim, or you can walk around as a person that the guy looks up to and goes, I'm going to have to work really hard for that one, I can tell, you know. If you look around and you're scanning the environment, you know, it's very important. I also always say women also get a punch knife, or it's completely legal, or a normal knife. But then again, you have to know how to use it as well. You should take classes for that. But you know, because if you're smaller, well, against bigger people, you simply need something. Because if that other person knows something as well, now thankfully a lot of criminals don't train, so that's a good thing. You know, and a lot of criminals also, if they have a weapon, that's their power. So once that power is gone, then they're gone. You only have to overcome that personal thing. But yeah, flipping the switch is the hardest one. We always say, although try to come to sparring classes, because then at least you get hit and you know how to deal with getting hit. You know, and by good people who know how to hit, they're not going to injure you. So, but you know, the real test, of course, that's like a military guy. You know, you can practice all you want, but suddenly if there's live fire, and you stick your head out and a bullet can hit you, you die. That's a whole different ball game now. Now you're acting under stress, and that's the same in fighting on the street. You know, you can train as hard as you want here, and then with sparring, actually, you know, you can come a little close, but still, I mean, I was talking about it today. We know guys who work circles around world champions in the mixed martial arts in the gym. They think they're going to be the next champion, but somehow they cannot control. They go to the fight and they can't control all the chaos that goes on. That's the biggest thing. In everything. Amir Perez always explained it to me, and I heard him not to me, to a person explain it. Go, oh, I'm going to use this from now on. If you have a plank, which is a foot wide and it's 20 feet long, you know, you throw it on the ground, and you tell a person to roll or walk over there. It's very easy. You make some pirouette in the middle while you're walking over. Super cool. Now put it in between two buildings, 12 stories up. Do the same thing. It's the same plank. Everything stays the same. Now it's for mistakes. You make a mistake, now you're dead. And that is the thing that you have in fighting. Well, you're not going to die, but you're going to get knocked out. You're going to get submitted. And on the street, you might indeed die, you see? And some people freeze on it, and some people don't. And most of the time with fighting on the street, since they don't have they don't know what's going to happen. So they can't prepare themselves for it. A fight, you know it's going to come, and the nerves start building up slowly but surely. But a street fight is suddenly there. So at least you don't have all that thinking, and it just goes automatically in there. But mindset is the most important, scanning the environment and trying to avoid it. Situational awareness. 9 out of 10 times you can simply avoid it.
Big time.
Around.
yeah, totally.
Awesome. We're going to take another, I'm going to ask a few more questions, and then I'm going to check the feed because it's exploding right now. There's a lot of interaction, so I'm going to check that in a second. So sorry, guys, bear with me. Thank you so much for putting all your comments in. I'm going to try my best to get to it. And if I don't, I'll share it later on, and we can maybe, you know, answer them after this hour. But okay, so I have a question from one of my MMA coaches. He asked about Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson has recently posted some videos of him hitting the pads, and there is talk of him returning for an exhibition bout at 53 years old. If you were training Tyson or an older athlete, what type of training would you focus on to get him or her ready for a competition?
Well, I would even let him do sprawls, you know, just because that gets you so freaking tired. You know, so while the boxing, I know sprawling is not allowed, and takedowns are not allowed in boxing, but as a stamina thing, because the older you get, the more stamina problems you're going to have, right? It's not like he can go, like I would go 4 times a week full power when I was training. There's no way I can do this right now. But when I say 100%, I mean 100%. When I see other people go 100%, they go 70% compared to mine. You know, it's a whole different ball game. I'll go, you know, but I can do it only 4 times a week, and that was when I was like 35. So for him to be 53, well, he's going to get tested. There's no steroids, no nothing, because otherwise you can, you know, if they give you steroids, then you recoup faster again because you kind of rejuvenate, and then you can do it. But that's cheating, and thankfully they're not going to do it. But the same problem has his opponent, which I believe is going to be Holyfield. You know, so both guys are the same age. So they really have to watch out how many times they go hard. But if you
Yeah.
see Mike now already, I mean, if you watched him a year ago, he was pretty big.
Yeah.
And I saw him on sports. I saw him on a Facebook page yesterday, and it was a longer clip. It was not just a Twitter clip that we saw before. And it's very scary how he looks. He looks really good. He's got a lot of power, and he looks completely lean again. So I have high hopes for him. Some people have been asking me what's going to happen. I said, well, I'm looking back at the fight when he got knocked out in Tokyo. And after that fight, he said, this is not me anymore. I'm going to stop. And most of the time, when you see yourself, that's not you anymore. Like when I look back at my career, I can say that too. I'm not that guy anymore. I'm a much nicer guy now. I know what I was thinking. I really wanted to hurt the person. I don't have that anymore. And when he said it, I go, okay, you know, he's done. But he had a lot of other problems in his life too, right? A lot of stuff went on at that moment. Now, after all these years, I think he's pretty cool and relaxed. You know, he calmed down. He had that stand-up routine, you know. I think he's in a really good headspace. I think he can really do some damage, but the only way to find that out is literally
to actually to do it. Yeah. It's cool to see him though back, you know, to like just his signature, you know, his head movement and his quick up the centers, and I just got goosebumps when I saw that clip up there.
Me too.
Yeah, man.
Especially the rotation, what I always talk about. And now we have the guy coming back, freaking rotating his body with every single punch. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so man, I got a couple of questions here, and then let me just check the feed and see what people are saying. So hey guys, how's it going? Some shout outs to so we've got people from a lot of my UK associates. So Goshin Jitsu and Kudo Academy, how's it going? Brian Bates, Zanshin Karate Academy, what's up? Let's see, yeah, all my British posse is all there. A lot of my good friends too that we grew up, well, all my high school friends since
cool.
like over like I've known these guys for like 3 decades, man. So shout out to all you guys. I got a question from, okay, his name is Mark Borsboom. He's a Dutch Filipino man. We went to high school together. His dad is a heavy duty judoka. Mark trained in Japan in Aikido for many years, and he wanted me to, and he loves cross training. And he loves you guys, Bas especially. He's been following you from the beginning of time. So he has this question, and here's the question. You are a legend and took the journey from a pioneer fighter in what was a blossoming sport. That road turned, and now you are a celebrity and mentor. What lesson would you say was the most important from where you started and where you are now?
Good one.
Well, it's something I always did. It's I just always stayed myself. I don't think, like, people over every single time, oh man, you're exactly the same as you're on TV. I go, yeah, I would. And I know guys who are not. And I think it's just a strain. You know, like every time I interview people and they're completely different in the green room before the interview, and then suddenly on air they're so weird. You know, they have to change the whole time. I think it's a hard job. Just be yourself and have fun with what you're doing. And when we said this morning, listen to constructive criticism. You know, I think that's a big part for people. And don't say no. Learn how to say no. No is a powerful word. You know, I'm a people pleaser, and I like to help everybody. And sometimes my own family is actually falling victim to it because, you know, I pay more attention. Oh yeah, but this guy has asthma, and this kid has eczema. Now I want to talk. You know, and sometimes I got to refocus and say, okay, sometimes I have to say, so sorry, no, let's do this next week. Right now, I have my kids to take care of. You know, something that happens in the family. So, yeah, constructive criticism. Always listen to other people. Never have an ego. Never think you're good enough, because that's the end of you. Always think that I did. Always think that my opponent's training harder than me. And so I always pushed it, you know. But,
Amen.
Listening to constructive criticism, I think, is one of the best ones, because as fighters, we have an ego and we don't want to do that.
And I think you demonstrate really well the line between ego and confidence, because people, he's gotten a lot of questions on our Q&A saying, you know, was there a fight you ever were scared to go into, or did you ever think anyone would do? And I'll let him answer it, but it's a very good example between being confident, but not having an ego.
Ego and confidence. Yeah, go ahead. I'd like to know that distinction from your
Well,
point of view.
lose, they give me probably get Mike Tyson, I'm not going to box him. That's very simple. There's no way because he's going to knock me out. I know that.
Yeah.
But if they say you want to fight MMA, yeah, who's going to win? I'm going to win. Who you fight Fedor Emelianenko? Who's going to win? I'm going to win. But anybody put me up against Adesanya, anybody, who's going to win? I'm going to win. But that's just a way for me to not already in my head. If I tell myself that I might lose this fight, I just think that it's a healthy way for a fighter to go to a fight. I think you should be 100% convinced you're going to win, and then you just hope for the best that you were right. But going to say, I might lose that one, I don't think it's a smart thing to do for a fighter. I think you need 100% confidence going in it because
if you say that and it translates to so many other areas in life. If he were to say, I might lose, he's already defeated himself.
Yeah.
And if you think about so many other areas, if whatever, I want to fit into my old jeans, people say that, but maybe I can't. Okay, you've already defeated yourself.
Planting a seed.
Yeah, you need to see the confidence because your mind sees it first and then your brain will help you figure out a way to achieve it. So it's just about having confidence.
That story, I think I can, right?
Little thing, but and also Thomas the Train, right? I think I can. It's going to be, but I thought, there's suddenly 3 guys on the street. I think, okay, it's going to be very hard, but they're going to have to work really hard. There's no way I'm going to stop this thing. Just give yourself, I'm not going to stop. Because telling yourself that you might win, if it gets hard, and you get rocked, and you get, there is something in you're going to say, who's going to pick up that little plant, let's see that plant you planted, and then you're going to quit, But, okay, you might win, you might beat me, but boy, you're going to have to work for it. That's a great mentality to have as well.
And
I have a question. Go ahead.
Sorry, it goes back to your question about self-defense and mindset. If a woman that's getting attacked by a 6'5" guy thinks, he can probably, take me and hurt me, but like you can't, you have to be like, I'm going to save myself. I'm going to keep going no matter what.
Yeah, plus women, what people don't know, a lot of men are afraid of women. A woman, when a woman starts, hey, hell has no feeling.
I live with 2 of them. I know. I live with 2 of them. I know. My daughter and my wife.
But it is true, you go because in the beginning, you don't expect it. And if suddenly they go, what? They get in your face, you go, whoa. Relax, a woman has a lot of power. They just need to know it. Just walk around, present yourself, don't be the victim, boom, scanning, situational awareness, have your keys already in your hand, don't start looking for them in the bag when you walk to a car in a dark place, all that, preferably have it between your fingers, why not? You just, anywhere, you hit close to the eye socket, well, it will go in. You need to just be ready. And people need to see that, and then we'll make them look for a person that is going to be easier to attack.
Yes.
We've got 10 minutes left, so I want to use the time wisely, and I don't want to take up your time. So I'm going to maybe take a couple of questions from the feed, and then finish off with some questions here, and then some closing remarks. And so okay. So the next question is from Kieran Mackenzie. He's a good friend of mine from the UK. He was supposed to come down and train with me here and do some cross training, and I was going to introduce him to my MMA coach and everything, but then COVID hit. But anyway, so shout out to Kieran. How you doing, Kieran? Thanks for your question. So Kieran asks, this one's for Bas, but you guys could collaborate. What was the most important skill that you practiced for your fights? Striking, grappling, or whatnot? Like what's the most important skill or attribute? I think you talked about this already, but Kieran wants to know.
Yeah, but there you go. It's everything. It really is. Because like I said, I don't know what's going to happen. People say, what's your favorite technique? And then, it could be a stupid answer, but it's the one I'm going to win with. And which is it? Well, whatever he's going to give to me. I have certain setups, certain triggers that I do something, they react a certain way, and I capitalize on that, and I go for a submission. But you have to know them all. So for me, that's why I'm so proud of my record. I got like I said, 40 submissions, 11 knockouts, all different knockouts, even though a lot of liver shots, but there's a kick, a knee, a right straight to the liver, a left hook to the back, all different kind of ones. But so submissions. You name a submission, I mean, I did heel hooks, inverted heel hooks, arm bars, triangle chokes, knee bars, toe holds. I mean, kimura. I mean, you name the submission, chokes. I mean, I pretty much use every submission there is. You know, because I just know everything. You make a mistake, I'll go side choke. Oh, you got this mistake, I got rear naked. Oh, you got a triangle choke. So that is the thing. You just have to make sure that you get good at everything. And the trick for that is to pick just one or two things out and start working on those. Everybody wants everything too fast. They think like 10 things that simultaneously is never going to work. Take your time. And the most important thing is to find a part. Like in striking, whatever counts in striking counts the same in ground fighting. If I can hit her with the right straight, well, it's a simple punch and right straight. Now I need to create a way in order to still land that right straight. A distraction with a certain combination, boom. That's the way. It's the same as submissions. Everybody knows the setup to a straight armbar from the mount. You create a different way from the mount, or maybe 2 or 3 different ways, or 4. That's what we did. You know, and then you start flipping between 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, 4, boom, suddenly you catch him again. You know, so make sure that you know a lot of different setups for one submission. And that's pretty much the trick. But yeah, there's so much more. When I get obsessed about something, I'm really a different animal. I like I said to people, I choke my wife out in the middle of the night. I would pick submissions. Yeah, just because then I would wake her up and put her in bed, and during the day, still laid over. I say, she's throat hurting, are you getting dizzy? I'm getting dizzy. Okay, it's a blood choke. You know, I was all day long busy with it. So, but you know, that brings you where you are. And I'm pretty sure she does the same stuff.
That's how someone with natural born, you know, talent and skill really becomes great. They they're super focused on it. What I've, you know, learned as we've spent all this extra time together is that yes, he had natural skill, but he was obsessed with it. He kept going and going. And when that's your career and your passion, it's, you know, it's easy to do. And also thinking of the different things, you know, things he hasn't seen before. So nurturing it and working hard. And that's with a lot of things. You know, some people might look at other people and go, oh, well, they're naturally, you know, whatever, fill in the blank. The people that are great, they worked really hard too. They didn't just rely on their natural skill. They worked hard.
And write things down. Again, this morning was one of those workouts. I said, write everything down that you see. Boxing combination, knockout, write the setup down. Thai boxing combination, not a knockout, head kick, whatever it is, write it down. Go back in time and say, did you do something special to that led up to that knockout? Because most of the time there's a setup. Try to figure out that setup. You know, and then write it down and start doing it yourself. Oh, then I like this, I don't like. Oh, that's throw it out. And you know, and keep the ones that you like. And then you grow. You just steal, you know. You steal from everyone.
Make it your own.
I mean, the Gracies learned that jiu-jitsu. They came up with it? No, they stole it too, you know. And yes, they start implementing their own things. You know, and that's what I did with myself as too. I see that from him, and I tweak it to make it myself.
I have a mindset question for both of you. So this is from Nick Garachi. How you doing, Nick? Nick is he's one of the senior instructors of Verizon MMA and Taylor Jiu-Jitsu here in Toronto. Amazing grappler. So I can't wait. We've been messaging each other back and forth. I can't wait till this COVID ends so we can start touching and grappling and moving. You know, like it's just this solo stuff is driving me nuts. But anyway, so Nick asked, what mindset separates an amateur or pro fighter from a champion? Sorry, an amateur pro fighter or pro fighter from a champion. Yeah. What's the mindset difference?
But nothing, because I was an amateur before pretty much, right? I mean, I went right away pro, but I never fought before, so it was kind of amateur. In the kickboxing I did was the same mindset. The mindset is, it starts when you start. You say, what do you want to do with this sport? Right away, when I started training, I wanted to compete and I wanted to be the best. That's always. I've been an athlete. I've been track and field. I was really good at track and field as well. Decathlon was my thing. You know, crazy high jump, long jumps, discus, shot put, whatever. I was going to do decathlon. You know, that was my thing. Bruce Jenner, he was my hero, actually. 1967 Olympic gold medalist in decathlon. But also, it's like, I'm going to do it. I want to be Dutch champion. And then once we have Dutch champion, we're going to see if we can make it European and world champion. That was the same in Thai boxing. And it's the same in you know, as soon as I started, although I have to say, in MMA was not really, because I didn't know, I had no clue that I was so good. I just found that out by accident when I was rolling with the American guys. The American guys always thought they were here with their submission game, and I was here. That's what I always thought, until I rolled with them, and then I realized I'm much better than I think I am.
Chopped them down. You chopped them down.
No, but you see, but with the submissions, and I was like, oh, I submit these guys. I never expected that. That was the moment I came home and told my wife, I think I can be a champion in this now, because now I realize I can beat these guys with submission. I never expected that. You know, so sometimes your mind holds you back, and you have to really know that. If I didn't have that experience, maybe it would have been okay, but maybe it wouldn't. So it's good to. You're always stronger. Everybody is always stronger than they think they are. You're much stronger. It's like holding your breath. You know, I can hold a minute your breath. You can do 2 minutes already. Although the alarm bell that tells you to take a breath goes out 80% before you really have to do it. Like far before. Once you mentally just get crushed through that. What do you think, like Stig Siverensen holds his breath for 21 minutes? You know, he learns how to push that away. But it's what women mindset as well, you know. You want to do something, you want to change your body. Well, you're gonna have to push and change your body.
Every decision, pretty much, every decision begins in your mind.
Yeah.
If you want to get stronger in the gym, that begins in your mind, not in the gym. And then, like he said, when he decided, and he's obviously has a very strong mindset, he wants to be a champion. And then, as you know, if he weren't so set on it, or if he weren't so passionate, or his mindset weren't as strong, once he got knocked out, it would have been easy to go, oh, okay, you know, never mind, maybe this isn't for me. But then it's like, instead, you use it as fuel. They're like, okay, now I'm going to learn from this. So when you can make your mind work for you and not against you, it's very easy to be defeated and say, okay, I'm done. I throw in the towel. Let me go try something else.
And I think it only works when you love it. Love what you do.
Yeah, the passion.
I know some fighters, I'm not mentioning a name, who hate training. And I could never understand that. Like, I would look forward before I go to sleep to tomorrow, 7 a.m. We're gonna, you know, I would love it, you know. So
enjoy it. Yeah.
If you love something, you want to do it a lot. There we go again. You do it a lot, you get good.
Yeah.
And that goes with anything, really, right?
Anything.
Totally.
This applies to every profession on the planet.
Yep. I have we're close to the 1 hour mark, so I want to respect your time. So and some of the questions here. So I'm just gonna fire off a few quickly, and then I'm gonna hit you with one last one of mine. And then So let's see, Mark Borsboom, one of my high school friends. He's watching fervently right now. He asked any movies on the horizon, Bas?
I am actually doing an audition right after this. I'm going to have to drive to a buddy of mine. I will do it at his house because, needless to say, you can't do it in person now with the whole COVID-19 thing. And then Trailblazers is going to be a Western with Antonio Sabata Jr. is putting that together. He's going to direct it, right there, and he has a whole list of all these actors that everybody knows, but we don't see them anymore. And they're all in there.
Oh, wow.
So that's cool. Yeah, and then I have another project that I'm working on, which was supposed to happen in March, but they postponed it to next year, which I'm happy of now because of this whole deal that happened. Yeah. And it's number 2 of a big movie. And I will, if we get closer in a minute, but I'm looking forward to that one because it's a badass part and it's different than comedy. and in the Trailblazer, in the Western, I'm going to be a very bad person. So
wow.
I enjoy
you in a Western. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, one of my buddies in the UK, he's a Kudo instructor. He wants to know, have you heard of Kudo? Do you think you can knock someone out with a headbutt if you have to fight against it? Because Kudo uses that mask, and they do a lot of headbutts on the inside. Like, so he wants to know if you've heard of Kudo, and what do you think of the headbutts? Let's see. Can you knock someone out with a headbutt if you fought with it?
Oh, I did a lot. Yeah. At the bouncer. Yeah. Because the reason I use headbutts is it's very. If there's not many people, I just knock them out. But if there's a group of people watching who are regulars, and some of them, you know, they're my difficult customers, but I know that if they see me fight, they will never fight there. Then I'll make it a show. And the most intimidating thing to do is headbutting somebody and knock them out, because then people go like, this guy is crazy. And that always helped. So I try to be very, very nice, and I try to diffuse many times. From the 10 situations, 9 times we won't fight, because these people who said that I have 200 street fights, I don't know where they get the number from. It's not true, of course. I had a bunch, but never close to that fight. But I would make sure that once I would go, that whoever was watching, they would go, oh shit, I'll never want to fight this guy. You know, so try to avoid it. And if you can't avoid it, okay, now make it in such a way that it's good. So no, I never heard of kudo, but kudos to the headbutts. I like that.
So there you go, Mal. He hasn't heard of kudo. Doesn't mean it's bad, but keep doing what you're doing, brother. But
yeah, Letwe. Letwe. I have Dave
that
Leduc, I had it here, who's the world champion in Letwe. Letwe is the art of 9 limbs. So it's Thai boxing, elbows, everything, bare knuckle, headbutts included. And yeah, he was here at the gym and I worked with him, and his elbows were the hardest elbows I've ever felt with the focus mitts. That was a whole different animal.
Yeah, kudo, from what I've seen, like, I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I'm learning more now since I've been in touch with, since this Karate Unity thing started. Like, I've been meeting so many martial artists from everywhere, man. It's unbelievable. So Mal and I, actually, we're going to do a two-way kind of like this too at some point. So stay tuned. Mal and I are going to talk about kudo, and he really wants to push that agenda. But it's kind of like karate and judo and boxing, and kind of like an MMA twist to it. It's got a MMA flavor with karate mixed in. So yeah, that's what that is. All right, so we've almost come near the end. I'm going to close with this question, and it's a question that's really dear to me, and I think we have I think all of us, you know, when we talk about this topic I'm about to mention, I think we have some sort of commonality with it. And so here we go. So feel free, both of you guys, to answer this. So I'm going to share a little bit about my childhood. So my childhood bullying experience shaped me. I mean, I grew up in a racially tense times here in the late 60s and early 70s here in Toronto. I was the only Asian kid in my class of Caucasians. Have you experienced bullying, and how is your bullying situation around your childhood? Like, I understand that, you know, Bas, you've experienced bullying around eczema and asthma, you know, and Dana, if you've experienced any kind of bullying in any way, if you guys could talk about that, if you're comfortable with it, and if so, how have you overcome? What have you done what advice would you have for anyone to overcome these situations and cope?
Yours, Buzzy. I don't really have too much.
No? Okay, yeah, so yeah, you already touched it, you know, a horrible skin disease. So I was bullied on a daily basis. So, but, you know, it gave me this life. The reason I'm sitting here right now is because of the bullies. And everything came from fighting, you know, because once I knocked the first bully out, I realized, hey, wait a minute, that was easy. And then I started going after all the other bullies. They were also very easy. I go, wait, that maybe. And then, you know, I started competing in Thai boxing, and that felt good. And, you know, it just so, yeah, no, they fueled me. It was great. I remember I was at a reunion, and they didn't show up, and I felt bad, you know. And it was, we had in Holland, you have to understand, so there was 3.3 million people watching that show. But you have to understand, at that time, there's 16 million people in Holland. So that's pretty much 1 in 5, you know. So there would be crazy numbers in America, and the bullies didn't show up. But I go, man, I felt so bad because I wanted to thank them. Because the reason we're doing this whole show now is because of them. You know, and I understand our kids, you know, but unfortunately for them, I went after them, you know, when I was still young as well. You know, later I would have done it anymore. Still, I have a teacher, I always say, Meester Jos. And if he hears this, Meester Jos, just make sure you never see me. Because he's probably 60 now. He was not that much older because he was the cousin from the owner of the school. And he was a complete douchebag. Yeah, he did some things. So I would not knock him out, of course. I would slap him in the face. That's the one guy I still hold a grudge towards.
There you go.
Giving everybody.
Real talk.
Yeah. No, he was a jerk. So, you know, when a person is bad, like bad, like kicking a kid so hard in the back that the chairs break, you know, they're a whole different animal.
Yeah.
So, no, he will pay for that.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can do it one time. No, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Let me say that. Hopefully not. But it's, I wouldn't lay awake if it would happen. That's what I'm saying. So it affects you. That's what I'm saying. Bullying affects you. There's still words that people say to me that I have to really start watching out. I have to literally tell myself, no, they don't know anything what they're saying, Bas, now. Relax. And they still trigger me. And that was said to me over 40 years ago. So think about it. When you start talking bad about a kid, You know, think what you do to them. Because if
100%.
after all my fighting, I might still have things that trigger it, it's dangerous. You know, you can really hurt somebody with it. I split it the other way, but some others, they commit suicide.
Yeah, words are really painful, as you know.
Words hurt. Yep.
I don't have bullying stories, but words are really painful. And the cyberbullying now, when people can just hide behind a computer, that's
I
the
know.
ultimate coward. Like,
I wonder always, how would they look at themselves in the mirror, you know, and in the night to brush their teeth, say, oh yeah, I'm the man.
Yeah.
I told that guy, yeah, it was a fake account, but you know, that's cool. You know, how can you think you're a tough guy doing that? You see how pathetic some people are. But you know what? Then again, maybe something happened to them. Probably did. But
I
was bullied a lot. You think I became a bully? Of course I didn't become a bully because I knew what it felt like. But there's guys who were bullied at home and they become a bully.
Yeah.
You know, I never saw that logic. Never seen it.
I find the internet has kind of put fuel to the fire for these issues online. You know, as an educator, I'm always dealing with online bullying, cyberbullying. It's a huge part of the issues that come up as an educator. So yeah, that's one thing I vowed. One of the reasons why I wanted to create Karate Unity is to basically, like, I had a website before, but you know, being an educator, I've been in education for close to 15 years, and I took it down because I was scared of some of the things that the students would say and do online, and I've had some words twisted and this and that, and so. But you know what? I look back and I said, you know what? This is my passion. I'm going to keep going, and I want to push. Like, there's nothing there's no content that I would put out that's bad. I would never criticize anybody. It's all about sharing, uniting, and promoting. You know what I mean? And so I make a very, very strategic and diligent and from my heart effort to be a positive role model. You know, and I'm trying to bring together, you know, people like yourself and you know, get in touch and pick your brains and see how I could do all of this better. You know, so I am so grateful that we had this talk today. I don't want to take up much of your time. It's 5:08 right now. I just want to say we've come to an end to our show. I'm so grateful, like really from my heart. This just happened just like this. I mean, Dana, you and I just talked like last week, and then all of a sudden, boom! I'm talking to you guys. It's like unbelievable.
She said, or else. And I go, okay, we're doing it.
Boss, thank you. Like I'm so honored and grateful that you came. And Dana, I'd love to keep talking and chatting and seeing how, you know, we can help each other. And I want to, you know, keep pushing and promoting everything that you're doing, and we can maybe work together at some point in time in a collab. I'd love that. So don't forget to follow Bas Rutten, Dana Hernandez on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm going to put all their web links and plugs in the live stream description. I'm also going to make this available to all of them. And if you like this show and want more content on functional karate and cross training, follow me on Karate Unity on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and check out my website, karateunity.ca. Do you guys have any closing remarks? Any advice for us? Anything you want to say before we leave?
Let's just keep doing this together. That's it.
That's it. We're all in this together. Don't you? That's the song right there.
Sing a song.
Anybody? Right. That's my question. Anybody's going to put on any musical? I want to be Daddy Warbucks.
Oh yeah.
Contact me. I want to sing.
All right.
In a musical. That's my wish.
In a musical. Okay, so you're going Western and musical now. Oh my goodness.
A Western musical is good too.
Okay, Bas, before we go, sing something from Sound of Music right now. Go.
I only know the Dutch version of it, actually.
The Dutch version.
Yeah, the Dutch version. Well, we can do Phantom of the Opera.
I was going to say, you did Phantom of the Opera.
Go. Both of you guys, a duet.
We should practice.
Right.
Okay.
We should practice
first. I'll get you guys on again.
We have to hit a real high note.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at the end?
Yeah, that will be great.
All right. Well, I'd love to come and visit you guys in California and train with you guys, man. Your gym setup, like even the colors and the background and the way you've laid it out, reminds me of the gym that I train out of. Like when I see you guys work out, I'm just so frustrated. I want to get back, you know, but I'll definitely come down and visit you guys, and you guys are welcome to Toronto anytime too, man.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. All the best, guys. Thanks. Chris Hanson signing out, and have a great day, evening, or morning. All right. Thank you. All right.
Surprise.
Bye.
Godspeed.
Bye.
Bye.
Party
Bye.
on.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
You.